Shalom, shalom, Israel. Big shalom to the 12 tribes scattered abroad. It's BOW Bay Area back at you with another lesson. You got your brother Amatazan here. Got my brother Amana Wallen here with me. You can introduce yourself.
Hey, shalom, family, shalom.
Um, we got another lesson for you today. It's actually it's a very, very good lesson. Because people, we have a lot of Christians. You know, there's also a lot of people in Israel who misunderstand the nature of Christ, what his mission is when he returns, and the type of person that he is, and who he's coming to save. And they mix all those things up, and it throws everybody for a loop. You know what I'm saying? Because Christ was a man of love, but everything comes with balance. So as much as he loves is as much as he's willing to go to war for his nation, fight for his people, because his whole ministry was trying to get his people back on track, because he knows when he comes back for the second time, there's not going to be any talking about it. There's not going to be any discussion. And, you know, as they say, the first time he came as the lamb, the second time he's coming back as the lion. Okay. So, I'm gonna kind of go into this, you know, and I'm gonna kind of debunk some of these points that people have about Christ, because you really have to understand Yahawashi's nature. He is his father's son. You see what I'm saying? And I'm about to show you some things. So first, give me Psalms 40 and 7.
God, this is the book of Psalms, chapter 40 and verse 7. And it reads, Then said I, Lo, I come. In the volume of the book, it is written on me.
So we know this is David speaking, but we know David is not talking about literally himself. Okay, we know he's talking about Christ. Christ is the son, or he's the descendant of David. Okay, so this is talking about Yahweh Shai. All right, so he says that Christ comes in the volume of the book. So all throughout this Bible, you're gonna be able to find Yahweh Shai. Okay, um, Old Testament and New Testament, which means when people try to separate the old from the new, it's asinine, because they go hand in hand with each other. Because Yahweh Shai is all over the book. He's been here since the beginning. So, um, I want to get into a specific point, right? Because a lot of people be like, they say one thing, they say, oh, well, when Christ came back, he loves everybody, and you guys out here preaching that other nations are going to get destroyed. That's not in the spirit of Christ, okay? So, Christ comes in the volume of the book. Now, watch this. Give me Matthew 5 and 17.
God, let me get that real quick. This is Matthew, chapter 5 and verse 17.
Read.
And it reads, Think not that I am come to destroy the law or the prophets.
Okay, so it says, think not that I've come to destroy the law or the prophets, right? Finish reading that too, and I'm going to show you guys something.
God, I am not come to destroy, but to fulfill.
So, we harp a lot on when Christ said he didn't come to destroy the law, okay? Because we know he didn't come to get rid of the law that was given to the Israelites. We know that. But the second part to that is he said he did not come to destroy the prophets. What do prophets give? They give prophecies. So if he said he did not come to destroy the prophets, that means he didn't come to destroy the prophecies that the prophets wrote. Okay. So all the prophets wrote about salvation being of Israel. So if Yahweh Shai said that he didn't come to destroy the law or the prophets or the prophecies of the prophets, that means he didn't come to change the fact that salvation is only for Israel. Now we have a lot of people who be like, oh no, but in the New Testament it says Gentile this, or he came to, one, you don't know who those Gentiles are, but that's a conversation for another day. But two, he did not come to destroy the prophecies that were written in the Old Testament about Israel getting salvation at the end. Okay. Now, y'all say that, oh, you guys sit on here and you guys tell heathens they're going into slavery and they're going into chains and that they're going to be put to death, and that's not the spirit of Christ. Well, if he didn't come to destroy the prophets or the prophecies, let's get into some of these prophecies, and you let me tell you, is this us supposed to love the other nations? Because a lot of these people say we're supposed to love the other nations because only God can hate them, and that's not the spirit of Christ, that you hate the other nations, that you want to kill or destroy and put the other nations in slavery. Well, let's get into it. First, give me Ezekiel 25.
God. What verse you need, Aki?
Start from the top.
God, this is Ezekiel chapter 25 from the top. The word of the Lord came again unto me, saying, Son of man, set thy face against the Ammonites and prophesy against them.
So the word of the Lord came unto Ezekiel and told him to say this. So this is coming from God, okay? This is coming from the Most High God. This is coming from Yahweh. Read.
Come, verse 3. And say unto the Ammonites, Hear the word of the Lord God. Thus saith the Lord God, because thou sayest, Aha, against my sanctuary, when it was profaned,
So it says, since you have said aha, which means you laughed at my sanctuary when it was profaned. Okay, read.
and against the land of Israel,
And against my people. Read.
when it was desolate, and Slakia, and against the house of Judah, when they went into captivity.
So you laughed and you mocked and you made jokes about my people and my land. And when they went into captivity, you laughed and joked and you rejoiced upon that. Now read.
Verse 4. Behold, therefore, I will deliver thee to the men of the east for possession.
So I would deliver you to be slaves. Read.
God, and they shall set their palaces in thee, and make their dwelling in thee. They shall eat thy fruit, and they shall drink thy milk.
So, since the Ammonites, since they laughed at Israel for going into slavery, and they laughed about our land being desolate and the Most High sanctuary being defiled, now you guys are going to go in slavery. That's a judgment for another nation. Remember, Yahawashi said, "Think not that I've come to destroy the prophets." Okay, now this is a judgment on the Ammonites. Okay, so if all nations are going to get saved, we're supposed to love all nations. You mean to tell me that slavery is love if they're going into slavery? Absolutely not. Then let me ask you a question. At the end, in the end times, who's going to be sent back to save the Israelites and also execute judgment? The Most High is sending Yahawashi back to do this. So who's going to be the person that's going to be executing this judgment? It's Yahawashi. So how is he
Oh,
coming in to save all nations if this is a nation that he's executing judgment on? You got a point out?
yeah, you know what I'm saying? And it's not even about the Ammonites. If you read this whole chapter, it's talking about Moab and Edom
Oh, you
and
know, yeah,
Esau.
no,
You
I was
know what
about
I'm
to
saying?
get. Oh, yeah, Con. I was about to get to that
Yeah,
because we're about to go through the chapter because I wanted to make a point about this chapter at the end. But that's a great point. That's a great
you know what
point
I'm saying?
too. And since we're talking about Moab, jump to jump to
8.
yeah. Jump to verse 8.
God, this is Ezekiel chapter 25 and verse 8. Thus saith the Lord God, because that Moab and Seir do say, Behold, the house of Judah is like unto all the heathen.
So this is talking about Moab and Seir. Okay, read.
Verse 9. Therefore, behold, I will open the side of Moab from the cities, from his cities which are on his frontiers, the glory of the country, Beth Jeff Imoth, Salakia, um, Baal Meon, and Kiriathaim, Salakia,
Read.
um, unto the men of the east with the Ammonites, and will give them in possession. That
So
the Ammon,
Moab's going in. Oh, Salakia.
you
So
good,
Moab's going into slavery too.
right?
Okay, read.
And will give them in possession, that the Ammonites may not be remembered among the nations.
Read.
And I will execute judgments upon Moab, and they shall know that I am the Lord.
So Moab and Ammon, they say that they're going into slavery. Okay. So how do they get salvation? How do all nations get salvation? Where two nations that we're just speaking of in this chapter, they're going into slavery. And Yahweh Shai said, think not that I've come to destroy the prophets, the prophecies that the prophets wrote. All right. Read, because now we're gonna get into everybody's favorite nation that they love to say. All right, read.
Verse 12. Thus saith the Lord God,
Thus
because
said the Lord,
right,
thus saith Yahweh. Read,
because that Edom
because
have
that Edom,
right
read,
have dealt against the house of Judah by talking vengeance, and have greatly offended and revenged himself upon them.
so since you've done all these atrocious things to the house of Judah, okay, read.
God, verse 13. Therefore, thus saith the Lord God, I will also stretch out my hand upon Edom, and will cut off man and beast from it, and I will make it desolate from Teman, and they of Dedan shall fall by the sword.
That means people are gonna die. Okay, read.
God, verse 14. And I will lay my vengeance upon Edom by the hand of my people Israel.
So it says, I will lay my vengeance upon Edom by the hand of my people Israel. So he's going to give us a chance to get revenge for what they did to us. Now, let me ask you guys a question, okay? Who is going to be leading us in doing this?
Christ.
Yahawashi. How do you figure that he came to save all nations, that we're supposed to love the Gentiles, okay? Finish reading this chapter because I'm about to get into that. Finish reading this verse.
God, and I will lay my vengeance upon Edom by the hand of my people Israel, and they shall do in Edom according to mine anger.
Okay, so everything we're gonna do to Edom is according to the Most High's anger. So yes, we're getting
Right.
revenge for ourselves, but everything we're doing is on behalf of what the Most High wants us to do.
Right.
And who's gonna be leading us? Christ. So how do you figure? How do you figure that? Yeah, it's not the spirit of Yahweh Shai for us to not want to deal with these nations like that, knowing that they're going into slavery, want to put them in slavery. You see what I'm saying? That how do you figure that he's coming to save all nations, but these are judgments that are happening to three specific nations? So how is he coming to save all nations? And he's going to be the one leading us doing all this. So how do y'all figure that he's coming for all nations? How do you figure that we're not in the spirit of Christ? You see what I'm saying? How do you figure we're not in the right spirit of God when these are judgments that are going to happen to the other nations? Quit trying to save the other nations. Yahweh Shai is not coming to save the other nations. Okay? He said, think not that I've come to destroy the law or the prophets. This is the prophecy that he came not to destroy, and he's going to be the one leading us in doing all of this. Okay?
And Salaki, I want to say something, right? You know, and I'm gonna say this: most people that read the scriptures, they think that Yahweh Shai is a protest leader saying, "Destroy the nations, destroy the." Like he's not doing that. He's a general, and he's gonna lead us to destroy these nations. He's a
Uh,
general. You know what I'm saying?
uh,
He's not a protest leader saying with signs and picket forks or whatever. You know what I'm saying? He's not soft like that. We got to
uh,
understand that, right? So I want to make that clear, family, that Christ isn't no gummy bear protester, saying chance, to make a difference. No, he's a general. He's gonna make differences by war and by vengeance.
Beautiful point. Beautiful point. He's not coming here to talk to nobody. He's not coming here to, oh, let's everybody get along. No, 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 no. That's not what he's coming for. And I'm glad you said that too. Matter of fact, give me Matthew 10 and 34.
God, it's a good one. It's the book of Matthew, chapter 10, also like in verse 34.
Read.
Think not that I come to send peace on earth. I came not to send peace, but a sword.
Think not that I've come to send peace on earth. I'm not coming to send peace, but a sword. Sword means war and death. Okay, that's what he came to bring. So when he comes back, that's what he's bringing: war and death. He's bringing a sword. There's no more talking. It's go time.
Not no
Okay.
toy lightsaber, a
Yeah.
sword, man.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, you know what
Yes.
I'm saying?
See what I'm saying? So people, you guys don't even know the nature of Yahweh Shai. To even be sitting here trying to tell people that, oh, if you don't love the heathen and the nations, you're not in the spirit of Yahweh Shai. I don't even know the nature of Yahweh Shai. Give me Exodus 15 and 3.
God. This is the book of Exodus, chapter 15, and verse 3.
Read.
The Lord is a man of war.
The Lord is a man of what?
Of war.
Okay, read.
And the Lord Yahweh is his name.
So it says the Lord is a man of war. So if we know the Most High God is a man of war, you don't think he made his son like that? You don't think Yahawashi, the only begotten son of the Most High God, you don't think he has these same traits as his father? If we're made in God's image, what do you think Yahawashi is made in? So if the Most High God is a man of war, you don't think he made his son like that? Let's be real. Let's be
Right.
real. He said he came to do the will of his father.
Right. And according to
You
y'all, they're the same too. So it's like, you know what I'm saying?
know what I'm saying?
Even though they're just in one accordance, y'all think they the same.
Y'all think
So
exactly, exactly.
man,
So why would he not? If the Most High God is a man of war, you don't feel like he made his son like that? Come on, get real, get
come
real.
on, Israel. Come on.
Y'all not in the spirit of Christ.
Yeah,
Okay.
no.
Now let's keep going. Let's get some more prophecies. Give me Isaiah 63 and start from the top.
Con. This is the book of Isaiah. Salakia. Man. This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 63. What verse you need it at?
Start from the top.
From the top. And it reads, Who is this that cometh from Edom with dyed garments from Barzra?
Read.
This that is glorious in his apparel, traveling in the greatness of his strength. I that speak in righteousness, mighty to save.
So,
Where come?
oh, so this is the prophecy talking about Yahawashi. Okay, so Isaiah's trying to figure out who this is, but we know this is Yahawashi because when you get the description of what's going on, we understand like the only power that could be exhibited and walking on it would be Yahawashi. Okay, because we know the Most High, he can't, the earth can't contain him. So we know this is Yahawashi. Okay, and it's going to give you a very detailed description of what Yahawashi is doing. Okay, read.
Come, verse 2. Wherefore art thou red in thine apparel,
Okay, so it says, "Wherefore art thou red in thine apparel?" Why is he red in his apparel? Keep reading.
and thy garments like him that treadeth in the wine fat?
So why does it look like Yahweh Shai was treading in wine? Okay, why does it look like he was treading in wine? That's how red his clothes were. Okay, read.
I have trodden the winepress alone, and of the people there was none with me.
So that means he took this trip solo by himself. Okay, read.
For I will tread them in my anger,
Mm-hmm.
and trample them in my fury,
Okay.
and their blood, right, shall be
Mhm.
sprinkled upon my garments, and I will stain all my raiment.
It's because he had their blood on him. Okay, he had their blood on him. And what does the top? What does the top of the chapter say? Who is that coming from Edom? So he came from Edom from killing, causing from destroying that place. Why would there be blood on his garments? And he's coming from Edom because he went there on a mission.
Right.
And nobody there could stop him. Nobody there could pose a threat. None of that.
Come.
None of that. So how do y'all figure that we're supposed to love all nations and all nations can get salvation when Christ just came back from Edom from slaughtering people? If we're supposed to love the nations, is this love? Is slavery and slaughter love?
Hey, man.
Is slavery and slaughter? No, it's not.
Yeah.
This is not. It's not. How do you figure we're supposed to love the Gentiles, but things like this are going to be taking place in the last days? They're going to have to do with us getting delivered and saved out of captivity. How do you figure that we're supposed to love the Gentiles if all this is going to go on? How do you figure all Gentiles can get saved? This is not getting saved. This is not getting saved. Like it's time to get real, bro. Like it's really time to get real. I know your Stockholm syndrome is at an all-time high, and I know you loving your oppressors, but that's
Right.
not the way to go. Like it's about to get ugly for them. It's about to get
Come.
ugly for them. So like it's time to get real. Israel. It's really, really time to get real. Like
It ain't la la land here, man. It's real, man.
it's
You
about to
know,
get ugly. It's about to
man.
get real, real ugly. Okay. So all that Gentiles can be saved. You guys hating other nations is not in the spirit of Christ. I don't want to hear that no more because the spirit of Christ, according to his prophecies, is that he's coming for war to break his people out of captivity and to establish righteousness.
Come.
Okay. Now, you got any points you want to make?
I do not, King. I do not.
Okay, so let's keep it going. Let's get some more prophecies. Give me Obadiah 1 and 18.
Okay, let's get that. What's it after?
It's after Amos.
After Amos. Okay, okay.
As a matter of fact, read 10 for me, please.
Okay. It's the book of it's the book of Obadiah, the book of Obadiah, verse 10. For thy violence against thy brother Jacob, shame shall cover thee, and thou shalt be cut off forever.
So this is talking about Esau. It says, "For your violence against your brother Jacob, shame shall cover thee, and thou shalt be cut off forever." So this says that Edom is going to be cut off forever. So how can all nations get saved?
Yeah, nah, man.
How can all nations get saved if it says Edom is going to be cut off forever for what they did to us? All right, jump to
No,
verse 18. Oh, you got a
no.
point?
Every nation's gonna get saved because my Jesus is the goody two shoe guy. You know. Come
Now,
on.
now, why? Now, jump to verse 18 because they're gonna have to explain this, right?
Yeah, yeah. Verse 18. And the house of Jacob shall be a fire,
Mm-hmm.
and the house of Joseph a flame,
So, southern and northern kingdom, read.
and the house of Esau for stubble.
What happens when you? What is stubble? It's what's remaining of something after you burn it down. Read.
God. And they shall kindle in them
Uh huh.
and devour them,
Uh huh.
and there shall not be any remaining of the house of Esau, for the Lord hath spoken it.
So there's not even going to be none of them remaining. So if none of them are going to be remaining, how can every nation get saved? Please explain this to me. Please explain this to me. And who do you think is going to be the one in charge of doing this? The Most High is going to use Yahawashi to do this. This is it's plain upon tables. Why do you think Yahawashi told us not to think that he came to destroy the prophets? Because there's going to be a lot of people out here that are going to get lost and misunderstand and misuse the scriptures in the Old Testament to try to say that Gentiles can get saved, all nations can get salvation. You have to love the heathen and all that. But this is no. That's why Yahweh gave us that warning. Think not that I've come to destroy the law. You still have to keep the commandments or the prophets, because the prophecies that Isaiah, Jeremiah, Ezekiel on forward to Malachi, what they wrote is still intact and it still has to happen. Remember, the Most High said that anything that comes out of his mouth will not return to it, will not return void. It's gonna happen. See, the Most High don't change. These things still have to happen. And remember, at the end of 18, it said, "For the Lord has spoken it." So the Most High spoke that, so it's gonna happen. There's not gonna be none remaining of Esau.
God. Let's get the Yahweh don't change real quick, man, because that's what they say. They say, oh, this is all Old Testament, you know? So let's get that in Malachi. Hold up. Salakia King.
God, it's all good.
I think it's three. It's three and where that at? Salakia. It's Malachi 3 and 6, I think. Yeah, yeah, Khan. It's the book of Malachi, chapter 3 and verse 6.
Read.
For I am the Lord Yahweh. I change not.
I do what?
I change not.
The Most High don't change, bro. He's the same all day and tomorrow. Okay, he is the same all day and tomorrow. So the prophecies in the Old Testament that haven't happened yet, they still have to happen. No ifs,
God,
ands, or buts about it. They still have to happen. And guess what? These end time prophecies of us being delivered out of captivity, retaking the earth, getting dominion back. Who is going to be leading us into doing that? Yahweh Shai. The Most High is going to use him to deliver us. It's plain upon tables. It's plain upon tables. All right. Give me Numbers 24 and 17. Let's get some more prophecy. All right. Let's get some more prophecy.
you said what
Because
I
guess what? You can't. Because guess what? You can't argue with prophecy. Okay. You can't. You can't. I don't care who you are. You can't argue with prophecy.
God. You said what I Salakia.
Numbers 24 and verse 17.
God, yeah, let's get that. This is the book of Numbers, chapter 24 and verse 17.
Start at um, okay, start at 16.
God, this is Numbers 24 and verse 16. He have said, which heard the words of God and knew the knowledge of the Most High, which saw the vision of the Almighty, falling into a trance by having his eyes open.
Mm-hmm.
I shall see him, but not now. I shall
Read.
I shall behold him, but not nigh. There shall come a star out of Jacob,
So it says, there shall come a star out of Jacob. Okay, read.
and a scepter shall rise out of Israel.
So it says, and a scepter shall rise out of Israel. So we know that star that's coming out of Jacob is Yahawashi, right? Because the scepter, it symbolizes rulership. Yahawashi is going to be ruling forever. And he's coming, he's the star and the scepter that's going to rise out of Israel. Read.
Come, and shall smite the corners of Moab,
And shall smite the corners of Moab. That means to what? Kill, destroy. Read.
and destroy all the children of Sheph.
Read.
And Edom shall be a possession.
And Edom shall be a possession. Slaves. Read.
Seir also shall be a possession for his enemies.
So that means the whole landmass, which means all Edom, the whole nation. Okay, they're going to be slaves. Okay, slaves. Finish reading that
And Israel shall do valiantly.
and finish 19.
Come, verse 19. Out of Jacob shall come he that shall have dominion, and shall destroy him that remaineth of the city.
There you go. There you go. All right. Moab, it's going to get destroyed, put into slavery. Edom, it's going to get destroyed and put into slavery. These and Yahweh Shai is going to be doing it. And this is in the law. This is in the law. Yahweh Shai is going to be doing this. So
Right.
how do you figure that he's coming to save all nations? How do you figure that we're supposed to love all nations? It doesn't make any sense. Like it really, really doesn't. If you love the other nations and you don't want to see nothing happen to them, you might as well just say that. Because trying to use the Bible to save them is not going to work. Think not that I've come to destroy the law or the prophets. That's what Yahweh Shai said. Because these prophecies that are written of him, you can't refute these. And they still have to happen. Hence, he comes in the volume of the book.
Right.
All right. Give me Jeremiah 51 and 21.
51. It's the book of Jeremiah, chapter 51 and verse 21.
No, give me start at 19.
Come, verse 19. The portion of Jacob is not like them, for he is the former of all things, and Israel is the rod of his inheritance.
Mm-hmm.
The Lord of hosts is his name.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 20. Thou art my battle axe and weapons of war.
Mm-hmm.
For with thee will I break in pieces the nations, and with thee will I destroy kingdoms.
So it says Israel is the Most High God's battle axe. Now we know Christ is an Israelite. He's from the tribe of Judah, right? So he's one of the Most High's battle axes. See what
Right.
I'm saying? He's going to be used to what? Break in pieces nations and destroy kingdoms. Who's going to be leading the Israelites to doing this? Yahweh Shai.
God.
Yahweh Shai. He comes in the volume of the book. You can find him all over the book. Okay, you can find him all over the book. Pay attention, read. Stop trying to save the nation so much. And oh, I hate camps, but I want to save heathens and all that. Cut it out. Cut it out. I'm sick of it, bro. Because y'all misusing scriptures. Y'all trying to save these other nations. Let me ask you something. We all have seen crime movies, superhero movies. When does the superhero ever come and save the civilian and the villain? When does it ever happen?
Right. God.
Never, never. So why we been oppressed for all these years, taken advantage of, raped, robbed, and murdered. But you mean to tell me? And then look at Yahawashi, when he walked the earth, he dealt with the same things we dealt with. And you mean to tell me that when he comes back, he's gonna come save everybody?
Right.
You mean to tell me that? You mean to tell me the same guy that killed Aaron's sons because they lit the wrong incense is gonna give these nations a pass after everything they did to his people? Absolutely not.
God.
Like, get real, bro. Get real. Yahweh Shai is gonna be the one leading us and doing all of this on behalf of the Most High. Because when you're the King of Kings, when you the creator of everything, when you sit on the throne that's above everything, when you are the Most High God, you don't have to get off your throne for nobody. We're all His servants. See what I mean? We're all His servants. Christ is going to be doing the killing. Okay,
God.
Christ is going to be doing the going to war. He's going to be doing the breaking the Israelites out of slavery. Okay, so how when we sit here and say that these other nations are going into slavery, these other nations are going to be put to death for what they did to the Israelites, how are we not in the spirit of Christ when Christ is going to be the one doing it?
God. Exactly. And let me. I'll make an example. I was just thinking of this. Like the most mercy that he will have towards the heathens is like how Batman has mercy towards his villains because Batman don't kill, but he will beat the hell out of his villains though. You know what I'm saying? He'll beat up, beat them up real bad, but that's the mercy that they get. You know what I'm saying?
And that mercy comes in the form of slavery,
Man, exactly. So
servitude.
there you
See what I'm
go.
saying?
God,
Servitude. So yeah, great point though. Great point.
for
Great
sure.
point. All right. Now, give me Joel 3, start from the top, right? This is another prophecy that you guys have to deal with. All right.
They don't like prophecy.
Yeah, they because you can't refute it. You can't refute it. Thus saith the Lord.
Right, God. Let me God, this is Joel chapter 3, from the top. For behold, in those days, and in that time, when I shall bring again the captivity of Judah and Jerusalem,
All right. So when he breaks us out of captivity, read.
I will also gather all nations and will bring them down into the valley of Jehoshaphat.
So all these nations, they're gonna get gathered down in the valley of Jehoshaphat. We know that this has to do with the war of Armageddon. Okay, read.
God, and I will plead with them there for my people and for my heritage Israel.
Because now we have something. Now the Most High, we have some things to talk about for what you did to my people Israel. Not even,
God,
and I just say talk about, but it's not going to be like it's not going to be no talking. It's going to be judgment being executed. Read,
whom they have scattered among the nations in part of my land.
because we've been scattered everywhere. We know that part. Read.
Verse 3, they have cast lots for my people
Okay,
and
that
have
goes into being sold in the slave in the slavery. You know, when we hopped off the ships and we've been sold here, and even the slavery we did back when we were in our homeland and we got taken out and dispersed all through Africa and Arabia and Asia. It goes into all of that. All right, these are
God,
we had lots cast on us. All right, we were for sale. Read.
God, and have given a boy for a harlot
Hmm.
and sold a girl for wine that they might
Okay,
drink.
keep reading.
Verse 4, yeah, and what have ye to do with me, O Tyre and Zidon,
Africans, read,
and all the coasts of Palestine?
read.
Will ye render me a recompense?
So you're gonna pay me back for what you did to my people? Read.
And if ye recompense me swiftly and speedily, will I return your recompense upon your own head.
All right. So if you know what I'm saying, like this is plain upon tables. Like you know what I'm saying? This is plain upon tables. I'm about to put judgments on y'all for what you did to my people. But keep reading.
It's like your verse 5. Because ye have taken my silver and my gold, and have carried into your temples my goodly pleasant things.
Read. So you guys have robbed me, basically. Read.
Um, the children also of Judah and the children of Jerusalem
Okay.
have ye sold unto the Grecians, that ye might remove them far from their border.
So you took my children, you sold them to the Grecians. Okay. You took my people, you sold them. Hence they cast lots for us. They sold us to the Greeks. Read.
Verse 7. Behold, I will raise them out of the place whither ye have sold them,
So I'm gonna break them free out of the captivity or out of the places that you sold them. Read.
and will return your recompense upon your own head.
and I'm about to pay you back for what you did to them. Read.
And I will sell your sons and your daughters into the hand of the children of Judah.
So now I'm about to sell your sons and your daughters, because now it's time for you to see how it feels. Read.
And they shall sell them to the Sabaeans, to a people far off, for the Lord hath spoken it.
For the Lord has spoken it. So
Right.
your children are going to get sold. You sold my people, you sold my children, so now your children have to get sold. It's time for y'all to know. It's time for y'all to know and learn how it feels. All right, keep reading.
Verse 9. It's like you. Verse 9. Proclaim ye this among the Gentiles.
So the other nations, okay, read.
And this is the lesson right here. Prepare war.
Prepare what?
Prepare war.
Prepare to talk it out.
Prepare war.
Prepare a treaty.
Prepare war.
Prepare for all nations to come here and love each other.
Prepare war.
Prepare war.
Right.
Get y'all weapons, get everything you need, because it's time to go to war, because now you got to pay for what you did to my people. Okay, keep reading.
Come, prepare war, wake up the mighty men, let all the men of war draw near.
Read.
Let them come up.
Read till 12.
God, be your plowshares into swords, and your pruning hooks into spears. Let the weak say, I am strong. Assemble yourselves and come, all ye heathen, and gather yourselves together round about. Thither cause thy mighty ones to come down, O Lord. Let the heathen be wakened, and come up to the valley of Jehoshaphat, for there will I sit to judge all the heathen round about.
So all the heathen are going to get judged roundabout. And he told them to come prepare for war. So that means when they come down here, it's time to fight, because now you got to see my people about what you did to them. And we have Christ on our side.
Hey, the
He's
most
going to be leading us into this.
hey, the Most High threw gloves right in front of him, man. He's like, man, here's some gloves, man. Come on.
Come on,
That,
and you want to know the crazy part about this war? This is going to be one of the first wars in history where there's no casualties. Talk about
man,
flawless victory.
flawless.
See what I'm saying? And who's going to be leading us into this war in Armageddon? Yahawashi. Think
God,
not that he's come to destroy the law or the prophets. He did not come to destroy these prophecies. These prophecies, they still have to happen. They still have to happen. This is thus saith the Lord. Nothing that the Most High speaks returns to him void. These things still have to happen. This is not love. All these scriptures I read about what's going to happen to these nations, this is not love. Slaughter and slavery, that's not love. How do you figure we're supposed to love the heathens and this is what we're going to do to them? That's not love. That's not love. It's not love. You're not supposed to love them. You're not. How can you love people who cast lots for your daughters and your sons? Sold your grandmother. Buck broke your grandfathers. How are you supposed to love? How do you figure you're supposed to love that? How do you figure? Excuse my language, but you got to be like, you got to be stupid or slow. Because right now, if somebody came in your house and they raped your grandmother, you know what I'm saying, or they killed your father, would you forgive them? No. So how
man,
you figure you're supposed to forgive these people when they've done that to your forefathers? They related to us too.
that turned the other cheek is crazy, man. Like they really think it's like, oh yeah, I gotta forget. You know what I'm saying? Like
Come on,
that's
bro.
crazy. Yeah, man.
Like it's time to get real. See what I'm saying? And I got
Right.
one more precept too, because you guys like we're supposed to love the nations, and if the nations obey Christ before he comes back, he's gonna save them too. BS. Give me Revelation 17 and 14.
Come.
This is the book of Revelation too. So,
Right. This is the book of Revelations, chapter 17 and verse 14. These shall make war with the Lamb, and the Lamb shall overcome them, for he is Lord of lords and King of kings, and they that are with him are called the chosen and faithful.
so how are you supposed to love these nations? How are they gonna get saved and these nations are gonna make war with Yahawashi? They're gonna have the audacity and the pride to try to go to war with Yahawashi.
And Salakia, and I'd rather be on Yahweh side because guess what? It said right here that Salakia, and they that are with him are called the chosen and faithful. And
There
that's
you
us.
go.
You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to be a part of that. I'm not trying to be these these shall make war with the lamb. No, I'm not trying to be that. I'm trying to be the latter part of that verse, man. The
There,
faithful and the chosen ones. You feel
there
me?
you
So
go. Because if you're on
come,
Yahawashi side, it's flawless victory. All right.
come.
So how do you figure that all these nations are going to get saved and we have to love them and all that? But it says that they're going to make war with the lamb. So they're going to try to go to war with him. They're going to have the pride and the audacity to try to go to war with him. And you mean to tell me we're supposed to love and we're supposed to try to save them? Get out of here. No bueno. You know what I'm
No,
saying?
no,
It's
no.
happening. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Come, man.
It's not happening, and but like I hope you guys were edified in the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. Um, I hope you guys can use these precepts, apply them, understand that prophecy is undefeated. The Most High God is undefeated. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
And the Spirit of Christ is standing up for your nation. The Spirit of Christ is loving your people. The Spirit of Christ is rebuking your people. You see what I'm saying? The Spirit of Christ is standing up for what's right and not for what's popular. Okay, that's the Spirit of Christ. All right, the Spirit of Christ is when it's time to go to war and when it's time to to obey him and follow him when it's time for business to be handled and when he cracks that sky and he comes back and it's time to deliver his people, you being ready and you being willing to follow him, that's the spirit of Christ.
yeah.
Loving the nations, that's not the spirit of Christ.
I think the spirit of Christ hurt my feelings this lesson. Honestly, no, I'm playing.
But
No, I'm playing.
no,
Yeah,
for real, it hurt a lot of
yeah,
people's feelings because they don't understand who he really is. Like Exodus 15:3 said, the Lord is a man
right,
of war. You don't feel like he made his son like that? Of course he
right,
made his son
God,
like that. Of course he made it because his son is what? He's the image of his father. See what I'm saying? We've all heard it before. You just like your damn daddy. You see what I'm
right,
saying?
exactly.
We've
Yep,
all heard that before. And why is it like that? Because you don't think Christ is like his father?
right,
You don't think, like, come on now, like, let's be real. Let's get real here. You see what I'm saying? Christ is also a man of war. You see what I mean? He's also a man of war, but there's a time for war. And that time is when he cracks that sky and he comes and breaks the children of Israel out of captivity. All right.
God,
So I hope you guys were edified. I give all glory, all honor, and praises to the Most High God Yahweh in the name of his only begotten Son, Yahweh Shai HaMashiach. And I hope you guys were edified. I love you, Yasharala. Stay strong. Keep enduring. We almost out of here. Every day we a step closer. And with that, I say shalom.
Shabbat shalom.